Everything we do keeping our partners in mind. We wanted to create a special mortgage community.
How is it going in the market? What do you see?
Do you think brokers are looking more for guidelines or looking more for people?
We listen. We try to understand. We are almost like doctors.
Such a good marketing point for them.
My biggest suggestion, biggest advice is to simply be yourself.
Oh, you do non-warrantable and you handle insurance issues? Yes, we do.
Hi everyone, Serena Diaco here, and welcome back to the Digest by A&D Mortgage, your trusted source for insights into the mortgage industry. At A&D Mortgage, we believe in 360-degree partner support. That means we're with you every step of the way. Hundreds of events year-round. How can you tell which are the ones that are truly worth your time? In a recent poll, we asked this. 41% of event goers say that they are there to network with new lenders, followed by learning from sessions and discovering new programs. Only 5% of event goers say they go to solve difficult client scenarios. Interesting, right? Well, today I have here Alyona Mirodzhi, Aleksandr Simonelli, and Mark Glaser to help walk us through what events are really worth your time. Let's dive in.
Hi Serena, good to see you.
Yes. So since you're in charge of everything from webinars to in-person events, what goes into choosing when, where, and which ones that A&D attends?
We attend and host any events, keeping our partners, our brokers in mind. So if we think this event will bring them value, either it's going to be a webinar, a trade show, a national conference, or just a small workshop, we'll be there.
Awesome. And you've probably seen hundreds, maybe even thousands of booths, panels, breakout rooms. What do you think makes an event special?
The one that brings you value. A broker, our partners, they should think if the exact event will bring them any value. This is what makes it special. They should think if the event will drive the business forward. Either it's learning more about loan products, or learning more about technological solutions, or just the market updates. If this is something they want to learn and this will bring them value by attending the event, definitely it's worth attending.
Thank you so much for being here today, Mark.
Thank you for inviting me today.
So today I'm going to ask a couple questions regarding events. Where should brokers go? Why should brokers even go to broker shows?
The broker shows are set up for them to be able to do several things. One, they're events to meet the account executives they currently have, hang out, be with them, enjoy their company, ask questions that maybe they can't ask via email or that they don't have time during the weeks that they're dealing with particular loans. They also have the opportunity to look at other lenders, sadly, sometimes, to find out programs. And they look at other lenders, they look at programs for the other lenders. And then, interesting enough, they'll come back to our booth and say, hey, Mark, do you have this program? Can you get this program? And they could equally help us. So we basically help each other. And as far as it's a fundraiser to let them have fun, give them the opportunity to be with us, to ask questions they may not normally ask.
I love that. I think that the last time I was at a show, I got exactly what you said. I got scenarios. I got some wanting just to spend time, get to know me on a one-on-one level. I mean, how often we are East Coast. So going to the West Coast, you get to meet faces that you've never, ever actually had face-to-face contact with.
For sure.
Overall, the industry in the last few years changed to a lot of phone calls, a lot of email conversations without the face-to-face impact that the industry had before. And I believe that trade shows is the exact opportunity for members of this industry to meet face-to-face, either in local events or nationalized events, and overall building a stronger relationship, especially given the fact that this industry is relationship-based, and the longer and the stronger relationship is, the stronger your part in this industry will be.
Agreed. What do you take away from events personally? Is it more knowledge? You kind of touched on relationships. Is it momentum?
It's a combination of all three. And from my perspective, I'm very young to this industry. A few years felt like a long few years, but at the same time realized that many other players in the industry have seen more, have been through more, and are able to share more. So knowledge is definitely the biggest takeaway from these industries, both previous knowledge that I was not present to experience, so all the stories that brokers end up telling and sharing with me at trade shows. And on this other page, it's the current experiences that brokers are facing on their day-to-day life with their clients and with the lenders that they do work with. So knowledge is definitely one of them, relationship is the second one, and putting it all together is the partnership that we can leverage on to be more successful both on the origination side and the lending side of the transaction.
And for you personally, being on the wholesale side, what do you take out of events? Is it knowledge? Is it just relationships?
I think it's relationships is one. Meeting my brokers and just having a few minutes alone with them, alone time, getting their understanding. And I too visit the other competition and pick up paperwork, come back, and we look to improve and modify A&D Mortgage's programs so that we're in tune with the time that the show provides, and maybe even add a few new programs.
What do you think are some signs of a great event?
The part where they come up in a scenario with us, they take back with them that we could do things maybe they didn't realize that we could do, and then just enjoy, be with each other. It's a social event and business sprinkled in the social event, making them comfortable, and then coming away with the ability that they really want to talk to us again. And we would be their resource for these mortgages.
Yeah. I mean, even word of mouth, I feel like you never know who you're going to meet and who can bring you that deal. So just by word of mouth, and that word spreads on what A&D can do, and there you go.
Absolutely.
What was your first event like?
My first event, I did start going to event more often in the last few months. My first event was about 1.5 years ago. It was in Las Vegas at the National Association of Mortgage Professionals. And it was like walking into a stadium for the first time. It's a fast-paced, packed environment of mortgage broker, loan officers, lender, processors, title agencies from all over the country. With everybody has the same goal in mind, which is networking and meeting more people and creating more relationship. My first event was new, and luckily I found out how brokers are very open, especially when in person and when seeing somebody face to face. And that allowed me to ease into the conversation.
Not all the ins and outs, not the details, not the rate off the top of your head, but really just learning more about you.
And that is one big thing I noticed. Do you think brokers are looking more for guidelines or looking more for people or relationship when it comes to these events? Do you think they remember more the answer to the scenario questions you had, or remember more the conversation they had with you specifically?
I think more the conversation. I mean, based on my experience, I think that maybe there could have been many lenders that did a specific scenario, but they remembered the face, the name, the conversation. So at the end of the day, the relationship is technically more important. I mean, I've had brokers choose me even if we've had a worse rate in the scenario, just because of the relationship that we have in A&D Mortgage's processes. So what surprised you the most at events?
I said it before already, but it's definitely how open brokers are. It's a completely different experience from exchanging emails that are directly transaction related or phone calls that are transaction related as well. Trying to build a relationship on that on the phone is a completely different experience, and I strongly suggest that every broker, every account executive, every loan officer puts in the effort to actually meet their partners face to face. Whether it's just for a coffee, even if it's a Zoom call, it's a completely different experience, a completely different way of connecting than over the phone and via email. How different the relationship between us and them is once you actually meet in person. And secondly is how much I can learn from others, not simply from who stops by our booth or who I stop next to our booth. I tend to walk around and ask questions to other lenders. I tend to take goodies from other lenders, other visitors, other booths in general, but overall it's the exposure to knowledge, the exposure to news, and overall understanding the industry by being present instead of just being a part of it.
Name exposure too.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like just getting your name out there in the industry where there are so many brokers, loan officers, title agents that have just been in the industry for so long. So jumping in and getting your name out there is super important. You've been to a lot of events, Mark. A lot.
Just a little bit.
Right, compared to my one. What event stands out to you in particular?
I think the events that basically have our competition right in front of us to give the group that comes with me to the event the realization of what's out there. And we all go and we visit. That makes a really good event, that we're visiting the competition. We're seeing what's happening. We're listening to what they're selling. And then that could make us better account executives, hearing how they do their biz. And maybe we modify how we do our biz.
What are some common questions you get at these shows?
Scenario questions, mostly. How is it going in the market? What do you see going forward? What do you think is going to be happening in the industry? You get questions like that.
And so kind of piggybacking on that, have you seen a shift where you think that brokers are looking for more of a personal connection with their account executives?
Oh, absolutely. There are lenders out there that have no personal connection. They send their loan in, they're visited by AI, their phone calls are answered by pretty much order takers. The one unique thing at A&D Mortgage is you get a personal relationship with your account executive. We are almost like doctors, I would say. You're bringing us a patient, they have an issue or a problem, and we want to get you as quickly as possible to discharging that patient at a closing.
I love that analogy. I really do. I feel like a detective, a doctor. I feel like all the jobs all in one. Are there any mistakes that you've made at these shows? Maybe not even mistakes, maybe just handled something differently than you would have liked.
That's a good question. There's always something that I could have done differently or better. I believe that handling conversation is natural. Talking about mortgages is now natural to me. And if I were to make any mistakes in the guidelines that I do mention, it is not an issue to go tell the broker that I actually was mistaken. So I wouldn't consider those mistakes or failures. I do notice a few missed opportunities. There is time available after the trade show ends from the time that my flight coming back to Miami is. And for the next trade shows, I will definitely make time for all of our brokers to sit down for the next 30 minutes after the trade show is over. Maybe talk about a specific scenario like you mentioned, answer any question they might have on the portal, help them through submission, or to sign up the broker package with us. I'm happy to sit down with you, going over any clauses in the agreement that you have questions on, or simply showing you the process of getting onboarded with us. So if I were to narrow it down to any missed opportunities, the last few shows I didn't have the opportunity to do that. And in the next few shows, I definitely will make time. We'll reserve a room within the hotel or the lobby for us to sit down. And if we're not able to finish our conversation at the table, we'll definitely bring it later into a meeting room.
Regarding still events, how do you think A&D excels at these? Or why do you think that we are very good at hosting and attending events?
With the acquisition of 899 Cypress Creek here in Fort Lauderdale, we now have a facility, and we've used it several times, and we will be using it going forward. It's really nice to see our campus set up a little bit of music, a bar. We have a great commissary to provide food, and we've had several events, and we will have more going forward. So we like to cater, and we like to be a host. We also have a really great education room, which allows us to bring in brokers, perhaps for their credits, their CU credits, their continuing education, and to also have them come in where they could meet us on campus, meet the parties that are here, and then we could talk to them in person and live.
We've been hosting some of our own events lately. What made us kind of take that step?
Everything we do keeping our partners in mind. So we wanted to create a special mortgage community, a perfect space for them to share their thoughts, to network, to meet their account executives, to meet with our leadership teams. That's why we decided to start hosting our own events.
And how great is it that our partners not only have access to meet AEs, but come into our space, see where we work, see how we operate, and meet our executive leadership. I think that's super important, and it really creates that personal relationship, right? Speaking of that, our new training center. Who's it for?
Our training center is just amazing. It's fully equipped. It can fit up to 100 guests, partners, or even our employees. And it's a great place to learn, network, to educate. It has the doors wide open. So
What do you think is the biggest reason that we choose to invest in our brokers this way? You know, most of our events and everything we do is free of charge. This could surprise some people. So why do you think that is?
because we think of our brokers and about our relations as a long-term partnership. So we prefer to invest at the very beginning because we believe that their success is our success.
What kind of response have you seen from guests that have visited here for the first time?
Nothing but great feedback because it's like when you welcome someone at your own place, at your house, right? So we invite our partners to visit us.
At our house.
Our house, true.
It's like family.
It's a family, correct. And we treat them like a family. And here they know that they will be welcomed. They will have opportunity not only to learn, but also to network and relax a little bit. It's like a perfect combination. And we tailor those events specifically for them because we typically send some kind of surveys before hosting events. And we ask our partners, what do you want to hear about? Our product updates. You want to do trainings on certain solutions. You want to hear more about CRM system. You want to hear more about loyalty program. And we tailor those events specifically for them. And it's our chance to hear from them. What else could we do for them? And this makes those events really unique.
That's amazing. How do you think this all connects back to our idea of 360 partner support?
We aim to support our partners from the very beginning till the very end. This applies to everything. We support them in their marketing efforts. We support them in their education. We support them in closing their loans faster. And we're the lender who makes our partners win.
I really do see us as the forefront of the industry in this specific topic because I don't see many other competitors investing in our partners' education, investing in helping them market, creating their own marketing materials. I mean, that alone is typically a cost for a loan officer, for a broker. But we create your own marketing materials for our partners. And then we have webinars, we have events. I mean, it really is, you know, a new standard that the industry should be meeting, in my opinion. What do you take from events personally? Do you think it's knowledge? Is it relationships? Is it momentum in your career?
I would say it's a little bit of everything. Networking for sure, because it's a great chance to meet our partners face to face and hear from them from the first hand. What do they want to hear from us? What do they want to learn? And this helps us to tailor our events, our webinars, our workshops specifically for them.
What advice would you give to new AEs preparing for their first event? Not studying beforehand and making yourself crazy.
My biggest suggestion, biggest advice is to simply be yourself. Your knowledge, you've built it up to that day, and you'll be more than ready, more than prepared to handle any conversation you have. You will also find out that brokers do realize you're new to the industry because they haven't seen you before, or it's the way you present yourself, or it could be a million ways that gives it away that you're new to the industry. But one thing you'll find out is that most brokers are open to share stories about the past. And that is my favorite part of these events. There's brokers that Mike Pearson, who I've been to events with, he's known them for 30 years. And whenever a broker comes up to the booth with Mike Pearson and I find out stories about Mike Pearson about the past. Or I find stories about, in general, the mortgage industry in the past, or about how A&D Mortgage operated 15 years ago. That is my favorite part about shows. Just be yourself, be open, and learn from others. And more often than not, others will be open to share stories with you that you didn't ask necessarily, and you get a better perspective of how the industry works and used to operate.
Events aren't just about being seen. They're about building momentum. With the right mindset, the right tools, and the right people surrounding you, any event can be a turning point. So I have a question for you. When's the last time you attended an event that truly changed the way you do business? Let us know in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more insights. Take care, stay informed. Thank you for joining me today, and let's continue growing together.